for you. We ready to bad Bobby Cash, nigga outside for you. They ride a gang, so we gon' fill up they ties for you. Yeah, drop your location, we gon' make sure they gon' ride for you. Dead or alive for you. I'm already knowing. I'm not a shooter, don't none of my team be scoring. It's all never gotta be on their ass, trying to switch what niggas be on. I don't know how to stop, no drop, I ain't never been through no storm. If I'm having a phase one, so many gon' fall behind me, figure he fat. They gon' forget anybody who ever took the time to put a little diss on the track. VOWERPUFF, only way that they him. I can get carried away, so let me just get to the topic before be trim. 21 Savage, is you deaf? Why in the fuck is you promoting death? Murder the reason why your brother left. When will the people hear your other self? I took the time and I wrote you a letter, hoping it encouraged your soul to do better. But you wasn't special, it could have been anybody. Man, this shit in the air with whoever. Is you scared, Share? Is it the fair share? Are you not allowed to rap about the shit you read, Share? Why am I the only one who stood on what was said, Share? Straight from God's mouth, how I'm living, not your bread, Share. Niggas talking about keep it up, they'll put that on my head, Share. He ain't beat the message, but you left the shit on red, Share. Yeah, you still my brother, even though your light on red, Share. Can I get a song and speak on how we been misled, Share? Killing ain't no fun, no matter how y'all niggas play, Share. Have you ever ducked my niggas hit up where you led, Share? Have you ever held a bloody body by the head, Share? Water from your heart rain on their face until they dead, Share. You survive the shit that you survive to teach the youth to not pursue the route that you decided to pursue so you could guide them to a better place. They don't gotta wait to face the truth and die. And they'll listen to you for listening to them dudes in suits and ties. They betray me as a nuisance. Why? Cause I ain't never grabbed my ankles. And I've been screaming fuck the whole Hollywood, not just the labels. We've been running out of time. They go for mine, they change the angle. They can kill my body, but they can't kill the message that I gave you.
All right, just let me finish listening to the song first by Phase One. Okay. One of my favorite artists, Phase One. Anyway, and I like Phase One because he always represents Dr. Malachi Z. York. That's why he's my favorite rapper. So anyway, this is the Horus Hour, and this is a storytelling show that tells true stories. I only put out the truth, just like Phase One. He only puts out the truth. You know, that's what life is all about. You know, when the truth is revealed, maybe that'll open up your eyes, and you might realize that you're worshiping a false god in that religion that you love so much. Religion is not where it's at anymore. Okay. If you listen to the words of Dr. Malachi Z. York, you listen to his teachings, you'll realize that all of these religions are false. You're actually worshiping the wrong deity, worshiping the devil without even realizing it. Yes, and that's all your religions. Wusabat predates every religion out there on the planet. Wusabat is taught by Dr. Malachi Z. York, the man with 76 trillion years of information, knowledge, wisdom. He speaks 19 different languages. And nobody else that is out there claiming to be this in the spiritual community, this woke community, can say this. You have a lot of fakes out there and a lot of phonies out there. And if you're really about knowing and not believing then the Wusabat culture is where it's at, because it's not a religion. It's a way of life. Religion is done with, okay? This is 2024. The truth shall be revealed in 2024. And Wusabat is taking over. Okay, the truth is being revealed. This whole year of 2024, the truth was being revealed. All the celebrities you thought were real, finding out that these people are devils in disguise, preying on innocence. So if you want real knowledge, study the Wusabat culture, study the teachings of Dr. Malachi Z. York, and you'll have the knowledge and the wisdom to make it through this life. Okay? You'll have the knowledge and the wisdom on how to heal yourself and vibrate to a higher level. Know who you are. Know that the truth was hidden from you. They could only hide it for so long. So, for all you nine ether beings, your identity, your culture, who you are, was stolen from you. They make you think that a lot of us came to America on a slave ship, and that is just not true. Okay? They haven't found an artifact of one slave ship yet. Can somebody please explain that to me? How is it that you have found artifacts of a ship that's 5,000 years old, but you ain't found one artifact of a slave ship? And that's only supposed to be what, 400 years ago? Somebody make that make sense. We were already here. Okay? We were the first ones on this planet. Okay? When Christopher Columbus came to the Americas, we were here. We were the Indians. Okay? But you let somebody else change your name, change who you were. Somebody else give you an identity. We was niggas, Afro-Americans, what they call us now, blacks, Black Americans. Then they changed it to African Americans. They've given us these names, and we just take it, okay? Thinking that's our beginning here as being slaves. We were already here, living in royalty, kings and queens, gods and goddesses. We didn't have a religion, but we had a culture, which was Wusabat culture. We were already living amongst each other in harmony, in peace and in harmony, until somebody else came along and taught us how to be evil. They bought the liquor over here. They bought the sugar over here. We didn't have sugar. We didn't have liquor. We didn't drink liquor. Poisoned our minds. Stole our identity. Put us in captivity. Prisoners of war. But they called us slaves. We much more than that. We need to take back our lives, take back our identity, and take back our culture so we can learn to live in peace and in harmony, unite as one, living in that frequency, that vibration of love. Let us know who we are. We are 9 ether beings, gods, goddesses. Our energy never dies. Our soul never dies. We only transform. That's it. Energy doesn't die, it only transforms. So we must learn to live, love, and laugh, okay, while we're here on this planet. Live together in harmony, okay? They let us put out anything that's negative, okay? You got rap music teaching people how to kill each other. You got another. You have one black person go kill another black person in cold blood over a street he don't even own. Talking about they hood. It ain't your hood. If you don't own a thing on that block, how is that your hood? It's somebody else's street corner. Somebody else's name on that street. Okay. Wake up. Wake up, especially if you're a doggone gangster. Call yourself being a gangster. Okay. Don't even realize you a sucker. Okay. That's right. I said it to all you gangsters out there harming other black people, killing yourself, killing people in your own community. You're supposed to be uplifting the community, okay? Not killing each other. So yeah, if you're a gangster, you that damn stupid, yeah, you stupid, okay? Straight up, you an idiot, okay? And I'm saying that to all the people that call themselves a damn gangster or a thug out there, okay? You a punk. That's what you are. You a stupid nigga. Okay, you know how easy it is to pull a trigger? Get your ass out there and duke it up for real then, dumbass. Okay, you so bad and tough. Why don't you put on some boxing gloves and get paid for it? Okay, get paid to get in the ring, fight and make some money. You ain't got to sell no drugs. You so big and bad. Why don't you put on some boxing gloves, get your bad ass in the ring, and make some money? Okay? Mike Tyson did it. All right? That's what Mike Tyson did. Baddest boxer on the planet, too, wasn't he? Okay? Mike Tyson was like, hey, forget this gang banging shit. Get out there and make some money. Made millions, didn't he? and still making millions. Not what's that dude, Jake Paul, knocked his ass out, didn't he? 58 years old, still putting it down. But you dumbass gangsters gotta get a gun and think you bad. Yeah, you a sucker. You fell for the white man's trick. You fell for the devil's trick. Okay? Open up your eyes and realize what's really going on in this world. Okay, so that's my message to these fake, phony ass gangsters. Silly suckers. That's what you are. Wake up. Wake up. Gangster ass nigga. Listen to phase one. That's how you rap. Put a positive message out there. Put messages out there that unite us. Put messages out there that'll raise our frequency, raise the vibration of this planet. That's what you do. Okay? Realize that you ain't no gangster. Realize you've been played. Divide and conquer. That's what they do. That's what they did. Divide and conquer. That's what they did to us. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, the so-called blacks and Mexicans got along. Okay? It was mainly Mexicans and Latinos moving into the neighborhood. The kids got along good. One of my best friends when I was in the 6th grade, he was Mexican. Okay? From Mexico. And we was the best of friends. Now I couldn't go inside his house. Okay. When we would walk home from school, it'd be like, whoop, this is as far as you can go, brother. I'll be like, what? It's like, yeah, man, for some reason, he didn't understand why his parents didn't like black folks. He couldn't understand it. I didn't understand it. That's the way it is, and that's the way it was. But we walked to school together and walk home together. We was in the same classroom. And later on in life, when I became an adult, I had went to jail once. And when I went to jail, I was 40 years old. Okay. Definitely innocent. Okay. Just like Dr. Malachi Z. York. I was innocent. Somebody lied on me, said I committed a crime that I did not do. There was, I believe, 12 witnesses that people that I didn't even know, okay, that told the police the same story that I told them, that I was innocent. This person was lying on me. And the police took me to jail anyway. I was in jail for a week just because somebody lied on me. But I don't want to go into that whole story because that's another whole long story. But when I was in jail, I noticed how everybody was separate. The blacks, the whites, and the Latinos. And you couldn't mix, they had the black phone, they had the white phone, and they had the Latino phone. The Asian dude that was in there got to use whatever phone he wanted to use. And he would usually use the white phone. Now, when I first went in, um, this prison, I mean, this jail, it wasn't prison, it was jail. They, I didn't know the jailhouse rules. It was my first, no, that was my second time. Anyway, I didn't know the jailhouse rules because, you know, I've never been locked up that long before. And when I went in, these young dudes came up. They was, I guess, thugs or gangsters. But since I was an older dude, these guys come in and they make up my bed. They're calling me, "Oh, you the OG." This is what they're saying to me. Yeah, okay. They telling me I don't have to do any of that stuff. They'll do it for me. So the guy took my blankets, made up my bed, and told me, "OG, it's a gang war going on in here now. The blacks against the Mexicans." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, the Mexicans, the Latinos, and the blacks, having a war going on right now." So the person that was next to me in my bunk, it was like a community cell. It was big. So the person that was next to me, he was on my left. It was a Latino dude. He was Mexican. And me and this dude started talking because it was his first day inside that cell, inside the jail too. And so me and this dude was talking and nothing, we were the same age. So we were the same age and we was talking to each other and we were like, "Dude, what's going on in here? I remember when I was a kid, the blacks and the Mexicans used to get along great. What's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And so I'm like, "I want to get some sleep." And he's like, "Me too, man." He's like, "I'm not down with this crap." I was like, "Me neither." And me and this Mexican dude, we shook hands. I was like, "Have a good night, man." He's like, "You too." And we both laid down. And then I had two other black dudes. They came and it was like, "No, we ain't sleeping. We standing guard. Make sure nothing don't happen to you." So I went to sleep and it was a brother standing up next to my bunk, next to my little bed. One was standing on the right of me and one was standing on the left. And they just both stood there guard while I went to sleep. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." So later on, he explained to me all the jailhouse rules and telling me which phones to use and when I could watch TV. Um, they had it one day, the Mexicans watched the TV. Another day, the whites watched the TV. And then another day, the blacks have control of the TV. That's how I went in that jail. So you're not supposed to congregate with the other races. Okay, but yeah, me and this Mexican dude that was, our bunks was right next to each other. How you gonna tell us not to talk? Two grown ass men. No, we can't talk to each other and shit. Well, we was breaking them rules. Now, everybody, they got those phones in there. They got like I said, they got the black phone, the white phone, and the phone for the Latinos. Okay, because everybody in there wasn't Mexican. You had different races, but they speak Spanish. But anyway, all the Latinos are using the same phone. If you speak Spanish, you can use the Latino phone. So I was making phone calls, right? And you had to get you had to have uh, I had somebody, actually it was my mom, call my mom, and I had her on the phone, and my the Mexican guy that was bunking next to me needed to make a phone call because he was also innocent. Okay. He took the rap for his son. He took a drug rap for his son when they found drugs in the car. And he said it was his because he didn't want his son to go to jail. Okay. So, we had talked about that. So he was trying to get one of the guys that was Latino to let him use the phone, and nobody wouldn't let him use the phone. So I told him, I was like, hey, come here, man. I knew he was innocent and I knew what he was trying to do. He's trying to get his pastors to vouch for him because this guy was in there for drugs, and this dude had been clean. Okay. And he was a person that did some kind of work for the church, some kind of work for this pastor at this church. And this guy was supposed to be pretty known. So he knew that, hey, if this minister vouched for me, it's going to make things a whole lot easier because he's like, this dude know me, I'm innocent, all this kind of stuff, right? So he just wanted to get in touch with the pastor to come visit him, help him get out or whatever. So I told him, here, I was like, come on and use this phone. So he came and he used the black phone. And wow. And this is, like I said, this was during the time where they was having a riot. And wow. They wanted to come after him, right? So he used the phone, and so he can get in touch with this pastor that was at his church. Later on, some other big old Latino gangster dudes came over and grabbed him out of his bunk. It was like, you come with us. So all these Latino dudes grabbed him and walked him up the stairs. And they was about to beat him down, okay, because you're not supposed to use a black phone. They was about to beat him down. And he said to them, you guys want to do this? You guys want to kill me for trying to get out of here when all of y'all know I'm innocent? All of y'all know I took what I did to save my son from being locked up in here? And this is what you're going to do? He said, before I use this phone, okay, before I use the black phone, I asked every one of you in here to help me. Not one of you helped me. I don't care what color his skin is. He helped me so I can get out of here. And if you guys think that that's reason enough to kill me or to call yourself gonna beat me down, go ahead. Go ahead then. Beat me down, knowing that I came to you first. They didn't do nothing to him after that. They realized they were in the wrong. They realized they supposed to help their own. I mean, damn. Come on. You go to your own to get help and your own people turn you away? What you supposed to do? So no, they didn't do nothing to him then. And then nobody do nothing to me. Okay. Ain't nobody sweat me talking about, oh, you let the Mexican use a black. Nobody said a damn word to me. So that was one thing I told them with us while we was in there. I said, check this out. It's not going to be no division between us. Okay? Because that's going to show signs of weakness. That's going to show everybody else that we weak. We can't unite with each other. We all in the same boat. Okay? We all in here together. We got other people against us already. And we can't unite ourselves. And they all agree with me. They was like, yeah, you're right. So I was like, hey, no fighting amongst each other. No fighting. We not going to fight each other. Okay. We not going to let anybody see us fighting each other. That's how it was running while I was in there. I was only in there for 7 days, but that's how it went while I was in there. The blacks were united. And I didn't care what religion somebody said they was or what gang they said they was in. I'm like, this dude's a blood, this dude's a Crip. We sitting at the same table. We are not going to be fighting in here. No blood and Crip stuff. That's not happening, man. That shit's going to have to chill. Okay. And they agreed. They agreed. It's like, hey, we all in the same spot. I don't care what place you think you come from, what hood you in, whatever. I said, bro, we in the wrong place to be fighting each other. We got everybody else in here trying to kill us. And we finna start fighting each other too? Make it easier for them? Nah. So that made a lot of sense to them. And they agreed. Yeah. Strength is in numbers, baby. Strength is in numbers. So the more people you have unite as one, the better it is. Okay. Now, it would be real nice if everybody dropped the stereotypes and dropped the labels that was given to us. Okay. Because there really ain't no such thing as a black person or a white person. All right, there's no such thing. Okay. You just take these labels, what they give you, and just be like, don't realize it causes division. Okay. Divide and conquer. That's what they do. Divide and conquer. And that is a tactic that has worked very well. Okay. Divide up everybody. Divide up everybody. They divided up the planet once they threw that religion in. Okay. People don't even realize how much religion has separated us from each other, has separated us from humanity. Okay. People believe in religion, don't even know how to be humane to each other. I'm a Christian, you're a Muslim, I'm going to drop a bomb on your ass. I'm going to kill you. Even though in every book you read, all your holy books and tablets tell you shouldn't kill. I mean, wake up, people that's following the religion. You following a religion that they go out and kill people, and that means you endorse it too. Okay? That's all it means. And people, melanated beings that will worship somebody that don't even look like them, worship the same God that the Ku Klux Klan worship. So you got the Baptist Church read the same Holy Bible that the Ku Klux Klan read. Ku Klux Klan be holding the Bible while they come and burn down your Baptist church, your Holiness Church, the Church of God in Christ, whatever church you want to have, whatever you want to call it. They're holding a Holy Bible in their hand. They got a hood, white sheets covering their face, but they got a cross and a Holy Bible in one hand, and they got a stick of dynamite in the other. And they standing in front of your church. And both of y'all worshiping the same Jesus. Can somebody please make that shit make sense? And you still get on your knees, bow and pray to the same devil that they pray to. If you don't think that your ass has been brainwashed, duped, you really have a mental problem. You really do. Talk about crazy. That don't sound crazy to you? That don't sound crazy to you. You worshiping the same dude that bombed your church, kill your people on a regular, hang your ass from a tree, tie your ass up in chains, destroy your family, and you want to worship the exact same Jesus that they worship. Make that shit make sense. That's all I'm saying. Please make it make sense. Especially in today's time, when you have the teachings of Dr. Malachi Z. York teaching you the real truth about who you are and where you come from. People, we have our own way of life. We have our own language that is taught to us by Dr. Malachi Z. York. We have our own language. We do not have to follow somebody else's culture. We have our own culture. We have our own way of life. And that life is peaceful. That life, you respect everybody. You even have respect for the animals. You live according to the ways of Ma'at, the laws of nature. This is what Wusabat teaches. Wusabat is about facts, not a belief. It's science. It's African spiritual science. Facts. That's what the Wusabat culture is about. That's where 76 trillion years of knowledge and information to get you to the Wusabat culture. Okay? So quit talking about your 6,000 years ago that I read this or my pastor read this and all that stuff when you had the Wusabat culture here 76 trillion years ago. You can't compare 76 trillion years to 6,000 years. Wake up, okay? But you know what? If this stuff doesn't resonate with you, then it don't resonate with you. You don't have to believe anything I say. I'd rather you don't believe anything I say. I'd rather you get off your lazy ass and go do some research so you can find out the facts. Okay? Find out the truth. Find out the science. Learn to live by nature, the laws of the universe, the laws of a real God, goddess. You might know who your real spiritual parents are. Go in deep enough. I know what planet I come from. I know who my heavenly mother is. I know who my heavenly father is. Set, Isis, Asar, Horus, Osiris, Asar. I'm Horus. So, my mother's Isis, my father's Osiris, and I'm Horus. It has to be some truth to my existence. It has to be some proof of my existence. There is proof of who I am. So when I say I'm the son of Isis and Osiris, that's exactly who I am. Nobody else on this planet can claim that unless they know where their star in the sky is. They know where their temple on the ground is. And the human body in the flesh. Because please tell me, why is it that my body measurements are the exact same body measurements that they use to build the Temple of Horus? Somebody explain that to me. If you can't explain that, even the birthmarks, because you guys say, yo, Jesus Christ had stab wounds on his right side. I guess it's a coincidence that I got 2 birthmarks on my right side, the shape of a spearhead. I guess it's a coincidence that my body measurements are the exact same body measurements of the Temple of Horus. Wow, some coincidence. But I don't believe in a coincidence because there's no such thing. Everything that happens for a reason. No coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. So I wanted to know why I have those birthmarks. I wanted to know, why do I see angels? Why, when I was a little kid, a baby playing in my crib, I got angels in my crib playing with me. And I can remember that. I can remember the angels when I was 6 months and I burned the back of my hand and the angel was sitting on the counter and the pain that was in my hand disappeared. It went away and my mom was holding me over the sink, running cold water on my hand. And the angel was right next to us. Okay, I was 6 months and I couldn't talk then. And I remembered when I'm able to talk, I gotta ask my mom, who was that sitting on the counter? Okay, who was that sitting right next to me, right next to us? Okay. So when I was 2, I asked her, Mom, who was that? Because she remembered when I burned my hand. And she just kept saying, There was nobody sitting there. And I'm trying to tell her it was. Okay. When I would try to tell my mom that the dude that she said was my daddy was not my daddy. He was not my daddy. I told her my father was up there. Okay. I didn't know how to say up there in heaven, up there in the sky, up there. I just told her my dad is up there because that's not my daddy. My dad was the most abusive dude to me. He didn't abuse my brother and my sister like he did me. As a matter of fact, he used to tell me to sit on my hands and tell my brother to come beat me up. He whooped my ass. Sometimes people get a whooping and sometimes people get their ass beat. Okay. Ain't nothing worse than getting your ass beat by somebody that stutters. I told you. I mean, man, he done hit my ass about 10, 15 times before he got past the first 3 words in this sentence. Oh, he used to beat me so bad. Man, I remember I got beat so bad. I didn't have to worry about how the slaves got beat. When you would look at the back of these slaves and you see they back all jacked up, that's how my back was looking. I was 8 years old. And my mama gonna tell me, shh, don't tell nobody. Why she putting alcohol and peroxide on my back. Man, I couldn't wait to get to school. I couldn't wait. So I could show my teacher how bad my dad beat me with an extension cord. Hit me on my back with this extension cord. When I got to school, I told the teacher, my back is itching. She said, well, scratch it. I said, I can't reach it. She got me a back scratcher and said, here, can you use this? I said, nope. I said, I want you to do it for me. She lifts my shirt up and man, she just started screaming. Okay. I ain't never heard nobody scream like that before. All right. Scream, went to the phone. They had the little phone inside the classroom. She called the nurse. Then the nurse called the police and they called my mom. The nurse called the police and she called my mom. My mom got to the school before the police did. And she took me. And now they're on the run for 3 months. We on the run from the police. So I'm not going to school. And my brother and my little sister, they wasn't going to school neither. Had to stay out of school, living in these motels, okay, because they running from the police, trying to wait for my back to heal. So when the police come do their investigation, I'm supposed to tell the police, no, that my dad didn't beat the shit out of me. And he's really not an abusive guy. I'm supposed to tell him that. Well, since my dad knew that the police was going to be coming and they was looking for me, looking for him. And if I would have had some bruises on my back, or my mom would have had a black eye, that he was going to jail. So that saved my mom at least 3 months of her not getting her ass kicked. She was able to go 3 months without getting her nose busted, black eye, busted lip, or getting her ass whooped with a belt. And it seemed like every time he would beat my mom up, he would come and kick my ass. I ain't even do nothing. I ain't do a damn thing but say, leave my mom alone. Well, stop. But my brother and sister would say the same thing. He didn't come beat them. He would come and beat my ass just because I said, stop, don't hit my mama. I'm getting my ass beat. My brother said stop too. My sister said stop too. Why aren't you saying anything to them? Now, I had to get my ass beat at least once a week. Okay. I didn't get whippings from my dad. I got beatings from my dad. At least once a week. Sometimes twice a week. Okay. It was like every time the whelps went down, the bruises went away. They wouldn't be gone for more than a day. And now I got some fresh ones. Why? I don't know. But I finally figured out why when I got older. And it was because my father didn't think I was his son. I'm the firstborn. He don't think I'm his son. So instead of getting a DNA test or blood test, he'd rather beat my ass. That was the crazy. Hey, if you don't think I'm your son, go get a doggone DNA test. Okay? Let's put it to rest. Okay? You ain't got to beat my ass because you don't like me. You don't have to beat my ass because you think I'm somebody else's son. Hey, you thought it was that bad to raise somebody else's son? I did it. And it was great. I raised somebody else's son. I hooked up with a girl. She was already pregnant. And I hooked up with her, raised that baby like he was my own. Oh yeah, raised him just like he was my own. That was the baby. That was the kid I said was crying for me for 5 days. Yeah, raised him. I was raising him as my own son. Okay, sitting in front of the door at his grandma's house, crying for his daddy for 5 days. She said he cried for 5 days and didn't stop and would run to the front door and just sit at the front door crying, waiting for his daddy to come home. My ex-wife was like, tried to tell her mom, the baby's grandma, that I was mean. I beat her up. She was lying on me. That's the same person that told a lie on me when I went to jail. Talking about I hit her. I didn't do a damn thing. She was lying. And I went to jail. Her mama kicked her ass. Said she lied on me. But this particular time, I did slap her. Okay? I slapped her. You know what her mom said? That's all you do? Baby, I'm going to do what you can't do and start beating her ass. I dare you send an innocent man, especially this man, send him to jail. She's like, I dare you. You got a lot of explaining to do. Or why would you lie on somebody like that? When I have been nothing but good to her and her son. Her mom was like, you don't have to explain anything to me. Baby done tell me everything already. I was like, yeah, you don't have to beat her ass like that. Because she was kicking her butt so bad that her father had to grab her, her husband, and her son had to grab her and pull her off of her. So taking care of somebody else's kid, if you're a loving person and you have love in your heart, it doesn't matter who kid it is. Okay? They're babies. They're kids. They deserve to be loved. They deserve to be cared for. They're the innocent ones in this whole situation. Okay? So it wouldn't matter how I got here. It didn't matter. I was the innocent one in the situation. I ain't got nothing to do with my mom stepping out on you. I have nothing to do with that. Don't take it out on me. Okay? So growing up, my father couldn't stand me. Okay? He couldn't stand me. And he knew that my little brother was his. Oh, he loved him so much. Oh, talking about playing favoritism. Please. My father would make me stay home and he would take my brother to the store and my brother come back with a whole bunch of goodies. Nope, he ain't got to share a damn thing with me. Okay, and he would tell him not to. No, you ain't got to share nothing. That's yours. So he didn't even realize that's bringing the separation between me and my brother. Okay, and that's why me and my brother used to fight all the time. When my dad went to jail, it was like, no more free licks, buddy. You put your hands on me now, I'm kicking your ass. Okay, because my brother used to think that, oh, I can just come punch you in the face and get free licks. You can't hit me back. That's how it was when I was growing up. My brother could just come punch me anytime he want, and I can't hit him back, because if I hit him back, my dad would beat my ass. He did that once. My brother lied and said, Daddy, he hit me. I was like, what? He's lying. Did you touch him? I said, he's lying. I didn't do anything to him. I'm beating your ass. I was just about to take a bath. So I didn't have no clothes on. My father came in the bathroom with his belt, and I'm butt naked. He took that belt and started beating my ass because my brother said I hit him when I did no such thing. So when my dad went to jail, You wouldn't believe how happy I was. Boy, I was happy. Then I got a chance to move in with my rich uncle and auntie. Well, I thought they was rich. They had food in their refrigerator. Okay. They had plenty of food. Their refrigerator was full. They didn't live in no apartment. They lived in a house. Okay. They lived in a real neighborhood. There was houses on that street. Wasn't one apartment. All houses. Okay. All the kids on that street had mamas and daddies. They had their mama and their daddy. Okay, most of them anyway. And I think at that time it probably was maybe on my whole block. It was only what, 2 parents, 2 single mothers on that street. Okay, mine and my friend Eric. Okay. Only 2 people on there had single parents. Everybody else had a mommy and a daddy. So the answer, the key is to love. Okay, because if my dad had some love in his heart, he wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have mind raising his own kid thinking it's somebody else's, or not being sure. Instead of going through life with uncertainties, do the easy thing, man. If you're uncertain if a kid is yours or not, get a blood test. Now you can easily get a DNA test. And as a matter of fact, I think they're putting that into law now. That when a couple comes in, before the father signs that birth certificate, you got to get a DNA test. The only people that don't like this rule, the only people that don't like it are the women that are liars and that be unfaithful and that know that they ain't going to do the right thing. They know they going to try to run that game. Trying to run that game saying that the baby's yours is over. It's over. They're doing a DNA test before you sign the birth certificate now. I'm glad they're going to put that in the law. Okay? My name is on somebody's birth certificate right now. Done the DNA test. And they said, the baby is not yours. 100%. Man, I ain't never seen so many 9s in my life. Instead of saying 100%, it was like 9999999.9. This baby is not yours. I was like, wow. And this little girl was so attached to her daddy. She was so attached to me, it wasn't even funny. Okay, she was just like her brother. I leave the house, they are crying for hours until I get back home the next day. By the time she was 2, she finally got used to me going for the 24 hours. And she was just like her brother. They're waiting at the front door every time I get off work in the morning, they were at the front door waiting for a brother. They at the front door waiting for their daddy. They knew how to tell time because soon as it hit 8:15 and I wasn't home, the waterworks were going. I would pull up in my car, and when I get out of my car, I can hear them crying. I walk in the house, and my wife would be like, "Wow, I'm glad you got here." And she would say, "They just started. You're only 2 minutes late. They only been crying for 2 minutes." Or sometimes they only been crying for 5 minutes. But if I'm an hour late, she said they'll sit there in front of that door and they will cry for the whole hour. So she would tell me, just make sure when you get off work, you come straight home. Don't stop. Just come straight home. Because she didn't want to hear them screaming and hollering. And sometimes they wouldn't cry if I called the house and I tell them I'm going to be late. Don't cry. I tell them, oh, I'm going to be late. Don't cry. They wouldn't even cry. So love the kids. Love them, even if they're not yours. Okay? If the kid's not yours, love them anyway. They deserve to be loved. If you're not going to love them, don't be in their life. Don't say you love their mother if you don't love them, because that's impossible. You cannot love the mother and don't love the kids. Don't love her kids. That's impossible. I'll repeat that. You cannot love the mother if you don't love the kids. If you don't love that woman's children, then you don't love her and you don't deserve to be with her. She can do better. She can be with somebody that really loves her kids. So I always knew how important it was to love and care for young kids, because they are the future. They're the ones that bring in the new reality to this world, the new frequency. You teach them when they're young. Wow, when they grow up, when they get older, they're going to be that person that everybody loves, looks up to, and respect, or admire. Because you're not really supposed to look up to anybody. You're not supposed to look down on anybody. You're supposed to just see things as the way they are. Okay, and just see things as the way they are. Don't look up to nobody, and don't look down on nobody. Don't ever look down on nobody, because you are not better than anybody on this planet. Okay, I'm not better than anybody on this planet. Okay, I just do myself to be me, to be who I am, to be the greatest version of me, to be the greatest version of Horace. That's what I strive to do. And Dr. Malachi Z. York makes it easy by teaching the Wusabat culture. I'm grateful to have such love and dedication to somebody that has dedicated their life to teaching the world Wusabat facts about life and how we are to live our lives. I'm grateful for his teachings. I'm grateful for the things that I have learned. I got more knowledge by reading the books by Dr. Malachi Z. York. I got more knowledge in a month than I got the whole 12 years I was in school. Reading the books by Dr. Malachi Z. York has gave me more knowledge than the entire 12 years I spent in the public school system. And that, my friends, is amazing. Now, I said this was a storytelling show. I didn't really tell a story, but I got one. And it's inspired by Dr. Malachi Z. York. Because when I went to the page to find out about the Wusabat culture and the Nuwaubians, the first thing I saw that I agreed with when I was reading was that there were no winners in the race of racism. No winners in the race of racism. And I truly believe that's a fact. When I was working as an EMT / paramedic, we got a call from a person that was having chest pain. We get there and they wouldn't let us in. Knocking on the door, and it was a white guy, old white guy. And his wife was sitting on the couch and he was standing next to her. And he's yelling, "Get off of my porch." I'm like, "What? Get off of my porch." I said, "Didn't you call for paramedics?" "They sent the wrong ones. Get off of my porch." I said, "Hey, what you mean they sent the wrong ones? Do you know these guys or something?" I'm like, my crew, me, the Unit 21, we were the most popular ambulance in the county at that time. We were the most requested ambulance. They wouldn't call for, "We need a ambulance service. They would call for McCormick's Unit 21. So I'm like, hey, what is this dude talking about? Okay. Because they've already sent the best. Okay. We were the best at that game. And so I'm pulling on the door, and my partner goes by the big old window that they got in the front of their house. And it's a bunch of big old trees. I mean, he got a bunch of trees in the front of his house too, hanging over the porch, and they were really big. And he's still yelling, "Get off of my porch." So I'm trying to pull the door open. And I see my partner. He was standing by the window. Then he just jumps back and crosses his arms. And he tells me, "Man, you may as well stop." I said, "For what?" He said, "This dude just said he ain't let no porch monkeys in." I started looking up. I said, "He's got a lot of trees up here, but I don't see no porch monkeys." And my partner just started shaking his head. I said, "Well, you tell him that if we see some porch monkeys, we won't let them in." And my partner's still shaking his head. So I said, "Move out the way, man." I look in the window. I see his wife clenching her chest. And I said, "Hey, you're the one having chest pain?" And she nods her head. And I said, "We can't get in." And she musters up enough breath to say, "Back door." I run around to go to the back door. There's a fence, big old giant. I look over the fence. I see a big old giant doghouse. I mean, a big doghouse. A big doghouse. I was like, oh no, Cujo. Because I saw a picture when I was looking through the window, I saw a picture of a St. Bernard. I'm like, I'm not going back there with Cujo. So I run back up to the front and I said, "Hey, is Cujo back there?" And she said, "He's no longer with us." So then I jump back off this porch and I run to the back to try to open the door. Still can't get in. The back door is locked. So I run back up to the front. The old man is still yelling, "Get off of my porch." And I said, "I told you if we see some porch monkeys, we ain't gonna let them in. Open up the door." So his wife is still clenching her chest. And then finally the old man says, "I'm going to call the police." I said, yes, great idea. Call the police. Call the police, please." While he's calling the police, I run back out to the ambulance and I get on the mic. I tell him, "Hey, this is Unit 21. This guy is not letting us in the house. Send the police over here." He goes, "The police are already on their way." I was like, "Well, tell them to hurry up." He goes, "It's really emergency because they're not coming code 3. They're coming code 2. I said, "Tell them to come code 3, man. This dude won't open the door." So I run back to the door. I was about to kick the door down. And before I could kick the door down, my partner grabs me and goes, "Hey, man, you can't do that. You have to wait for the police. If you kick that door open, they'll be taking you to jail." I'm like, "What?" He said, "He has to open up the door to let you in, man." So we had to wait for the police. Now his wife is still sitting on the couch holding her chest. And her last words were, "I don't care what color they are. Let them in." And she fell down and hit the floor. Her head was laying right next to a big, thick ass Bible with a picture of Jesus on the front of it. Religion, right? It's supposed to be so loving and kind. Anyway, I was like, dang, she's laying right next to Jesus. If they don't come open this door soon, she's going to be meeting her Lord and Savior. So finally, we only got 6 minutes before it's irreversible brain damage, right? It took them 10 minutes to get there. So finally, this sheriff deputy comes walking in. It was a white guy. And boy, you should have seen this old man run to the door quick. He ran to the door with the quickness, opened up the door, and started telling this sheriff, "My wife, she just had a heart attack. Save her." This is what he said to the sheriff deputy. And the sheriff deputy looked at him and said, "Hey, man," he goes, "I'm a sheriff deputy. I'm not a paramedic. These two guys are paramedics." And so the guy's just standing there. It's silent. It's quiet. So I asked the sheriff deputy, "Do you want me to at least check her pulse? Can I touch her?" And the sheriff deputy says, "Yeah." So I bend down to check her pulse. And she's already starting to get cold. She don't even have a pulse. Nothing. So I stand up and I go, "She's dead. She's dead, officer." And this guy starts screaming, "Oh, oh, she was my high school sweetheart. Oh, 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 oh." He's crying. "Oh, oh, 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 she was my high school sweetheart." And I said, "Well, if she was your high school sweetheart, why didn't you just open the door? You let hate take over that much that you wouldn't open the door for your high school sweetheart?" I started looking around the house and I see these pictures, these family pictures. I see a couple and they got two little babies, a little girl and then one little baby with them. I see a picture of the grandma, the lady that fell on the floor, with another picture sitting on the coffee table with her and her grandkids. And this woman looks so happy, and those grandkids look so happy. And I'm like, "Who are all these people?" And he goes, "That's my son and my daughter-in-law, and those are their kids." And I just looked at him and I was like, wow, they're going to miss their mom. They're going to miss their grandma. You should have just opened the door, man. Wasn't nothing else left for us to do. So I grabbed my trauma box and walked out the door. So because of hate, because of racism, he let his wife die, his high school sweetheart die. And I guarantee you, he is not going to go to church. and tell the church his wife's last words. He is not going to tell his son, his daughter-in-law, or the grandkids. I guarantee you, he will never tell them his wife's last words were, I don't care what color they are, let them in. That's the end of that story. Okay. Blinded by hate, praying to the devil, their religion, their Christianity. Only thing I can say about that is at least they were white, praying to a white Jesus. Okay. It don't make no sense for a melanated being to be praying to a white Jesus. He ain't even helping the white people. He is not even helping the white people. Okay? So what in the hell makes you think he gonna help you? Better get rid of that religion. Better open your eyes. Okay? Open your eyes. Wake up. It is time for the world to wake up to the Wusabat culture and the teachings of Dr. Malachi Z. York. Peace, love, and happiness to you all. Thank you for listening to the show. Until we meet again, remember, I love you, and you should learn to love yourself.